Hey you guys, we're back home with Chas this morning and I have been negligent. I've been so busy with outside things and getting the barn, and I have neglected these strawberries that I have bought specifically to show you guys how I was going to make some jam, or how I make my jam every year. But that's okay. They're a little bit shriveled, but they're still going to make plenty good jam, and we're going to use them. I needed something to take my mind off things this morning because I'm on chick watch. We've just hatched one of the babies out of the incubator. It's in there. It's still wet and drying from being born this morning. I'm super excited. I have another one that's pipped, but no action yet, and I am an impatient mother. My kids could probably tell you this already, but nonetheless, I'm impatient, and I like have walked over there probably 300 times this morning, back and forth, back and forth. I got up through the night checking on them last night because I just wanted to make sure, because it pipped last night right before bed. But I don't know if you've ever hatched eggs, but it's a process. It's quite long. I mean, they could go for like 24 hours before anything happens. So, it is, like I said, impatient here. But another thing is we're having some weather today and it's not pretty. So to get my mind off, we're gonna make some jam. So what I'm gonna do is, I've got a bowl of strawberries. I actually threw a few raspberries in there too, and they're just in a bowl of water. And what I like to do is put them in some water, that way it washes them off. And then I'm going to top off the tops of them, get the green off. Those will go to Billy Joe. And then I want to fill, I have a, what is this called? Oh, it's a Ninja blender food processor thing. So what I've learned is if I fill it to the top, that's exactly how much of a fruit that I need to make jam. And so this holds about the 8.5 cups of fruit that I'm going to need. Now, I'm going to tell you just a tiny story. Well, I won't say tiny. I'm just going to tell you a story. I have been eccentric my whole life. I am stubborn, and sometimes I like to do things the hard way. I learned the hard way as well. My mom and dad have told me this since I was little, that if I had my mind set to do something, I made it, I did it. I was just like that. Very determined, which one of my kids is that way too. And that determination can get him in trouble sometimes. But hoping like me, it will work out and he'll just be a strong-willed adult. So anyways, all that to say is, I like to learn. I like to learn how to do things. And one of the things I like to learn is how I can do things the old-fashioned way. The way that is not necessarily based too much on modern convenience. So with this jam recipe I'm going to show you today, I learned several years ago that I don't have to go buy certain gelling agents for jam. I can use the natural pectin in the fruit to help the jam. And another thing is, jam, in my opinion, is better than jelly. I love the bits of fruit. I want my fruit jam to taste like fruit, not like sugar, not like extras. I want it to taste like the fruit. And this recipe seems to be universally good for that. You take the fruit and you only add a marginal amount of sugar. Now, 3.5 cups sounds like a lot of sugar. And it is, if you're, depending on how you're looking at it. But if you look at a conventional method, when you're making jam, you're taking about 8.5 cups of fruit, putting maybe 8 cups of sugar in there with it. And that's a lot, a whole lot. Whereas this is 8.5 cups of fruit and 3.5 cups of sugar. And so it's quite a lot less, but it tastes very, very good. And you know, anywhere we can cut that out is helpful. Now, you can use an organic sugar. You can use, one thing I like to have, I don't have it a whole lot because it's pricey and we're on, you know, definitely on a budget, is cane juice crystals. They're like a step better than sugar and they're organic usually. So those are nice to have, and it's equal parts those or sugar. There's another thing called Sucanat, and it's got lots more molasses in there. So you might want to do some tasting before you use that, because it could change the flavor for sure, because it's very deep. It's very deep. It's got that, definitely got that molasses flavor. I wish I had some to show you right now, but I have some in the cabinet. Anyway, so today we're using plain sugar, just regular sugar. Again, 3.5 cups. So I'm going to go ahead and top off these berries. I'm going to just slice them, not put a lot of work into them. I'm just going to maybe slice them, a couple of slices, put them in here, put the raspberries in here, get it filled to the top, and there will be our 8.5 cups of berries. And then I'm going to give them a quick blitz in the food processor, and that's going to break them down a little bit. I don't like to annihilate them. I don't want it to be smooth. I want it to have a little bit of volume to it. This is totally a preference of mine. You can do it however you like. But over the years that I've made these jellies and jams, this is what my family enjoys the most. When I first saw the recipe, it said maybe cook it for like 10 or 20 minutes. I cook it, it takes a lot longer for me. Not sure why, but it does. But anyways, I will show you the next steps here momentarily. One more thing. This is more like a French jam or a European jam, meaning that you can go to the store and buy jams or jellies and they are like solid. You know, you scrape it out and there's a hole left where you just got to scrape a jelly out. These are, you know, they're a little looser, like almost pourable. So when you take a scoop out or whatever, it may just go back to leveling out. Again, I have no issue with this. I like it. My family likes it. So this may not be a recipe that you love, but I'm going to give it to you just in case you want to try it, and just in case you don't want to have to rely on the store for those extra additives to make your jellies or jams. This way you can just make them sugar, fruit, cooking. That's it. That's all you need. And now afterwards I do can mine, but you could put them in containers and put them in the freezer if you like to do that. Totally fine there too. And all right, we'll move on. Just a little break in the jam making to come and feed the girls, and I thought you guys would like to see them. If I come down here, this is what she does. She walks right beside me. Sometimes she gets in front of me a little bit, but then she holds up and then she gets right beside me again, because I'm slower than her. Alrighty guys, I have added the berries. Remember, that's 8.5 cups. I've just added the sugar, and that's 3.5 cups. And now I've added some lemon juice. I don't always do this, but the lemon juice is supposed to help with foaming. And as you cook this, a lot of times there's a foam that rises. And so instead of having that, you know, scuzz on the top that can get into your jam, that sometimes you have to scrape off, this way it will help to prevent that. So that's just like a tablespoon or two I put in there. All right, so the lemon juice doesn't seem to be keeping the foam down too much, but that's okay. It's not like it's gonna hurt us, and I don't mind it. It's just, you know, it just makes a little bit of a skim, but you can easily take that off. It's getting thicker. It's not thick enough yet by any stretch. Look, see how that just runs off still. And yes, I know that this is Christmas, but so we've got a while of cooking to go, and normally I make up at least 2 batches at a time, but this is just 1 batch, so it actually may not take me cooking it as long because there's not as much, but I will definitely keep you posted. Hey everybody, I'm back with our jam. I had to cut things a little bit short this afternoon because like I told you earlier, we're expecting some weather, and it should come in just the next couple of hours and last for a few hours. So I'm not canning this afternoon. I'm actually just pouring all of it, actually poured most of it up into this jar, and we're putting it in the fridge because between my family and, you know, like I might even scoop some out to give to Cameo, between us, we'll handle this no issue before it ever goes bad. It's, let me show you. It's still very, very warm, and you can see that it's loose, but you can see it's also coating the spoon. So that's, you know, that's what we're looking for. Again, it's not an American jam. It's more of a European French jam or whatever. And I found that I like it better. I love like watching Great British Bake Off and things like that. And this is the way they make jam a lot of time, basically fruit and sugar. And then occasionally you'll see them put gelatin in there too, if it needs to be like super firm. But if they're just making a jam for like, you know, tarts or whatever, this is the way they do it, just the fruit and sugar. Let's see. I do plan on doing a video later on to show you how to water bath can. But that, like I said, today is not the day. I want to get supper on here shortly. I want to tend to the baby chicks. We have 2 so far and another pip. So out of 5, 2 is here, 2 are here, and then 1 is hopefully gonna hatch in the next, you know, however many hours. And then hopefully, but see, we're only on day 22. So 20, not 22, 20 also. And we have, you know, 21 is usually the big day. So, let's see. Also, thank you all. Thank you to all of you who have been so encouraging and so nice about this whole YouTube adventure that I've done. I did not think that this was something that I would like to do, simply because it's putting me in front of the camera often. But as you can tell, I've been on here. I mean, flip, I was in my nightgown last night, but I was just so excited I had to show you. So I didn't show you below my head, but you know, no makeup, no hair fixing. This is just this is just life. This is me. And so, you know, I hope you can see the realness of this. This is not a put on, oh, look how wonderful I am. This is me, a friend talking to a friend. That's what I'm doing. I'm talking to you through this wonderful device of the internet, as if you were sitting across from my table. And I'm treating you like I would if you were here. And hopefully I can impart a little wisdom or knowledge to help you to do something that maybe you've not had the courage to try before. Maybe you didn't know how to do it or how to start. And like I said earlier today, I'm a hardhead, and I jump in with both feet. You can ask my husband, my parents, everybody that loves me, they know. But sometimes you just gotta do it. You just gotta try. And so I want to encourage you to try. Do it. Make it happen. These homestead dreams of mine, I'm just so excited about the possibilities. So if this is something that you want out of life, and you see the benefit, and you see the the reward of it, dip your feet in and get into it. Start somewhere. Don't be like me and dabble too long. But now I know the Lord's time is good, and I'm not complaining. But I know we're on the right path. We're going in a good direction. So I'm excited about that. And learn as much as you can. Learn about everything. And that's what I tell my kids. Be lifelong learners. Learn about as much as possible. And just because you never know what you might need to know one day. We don't know what we're looking at future-wise in this, in this country. Develop those skills. Develop things that you can do that is going to benefit you and your family. And my hopes is that if it comes down to it, I can help others as well. I'm hoping that I'm helping others right now, because of learning how to produce food, learning how to process food, learning how to preserve food, learning how to grow food, learning how to raise up animals and animal husbandry, and giving those animals good lives and using those animals for food eventually. All these things are a process, and things that I'm learning, I'm sharing with you what I learn. I'm sharing with others around me that I'm directly contacted with how to learn, and teaching them. So as a friend sitting across the table from me in my home, I just want to tell you that I enjoyed our time together today. I hope you've learned something. I hope you give this a try. And you can try this with strawberries, raspberries, basically berries. You want to stick with berries, blueberries, blackberries. You can even do a multiple berry mixture. I almost threw some blueberries in here today, but I really like raspberries and strawberries. So that's what I went with. That's what I had. Again, use what you got. So have a wonderful day. Be safe and be well. And let's learn something together next time. Again. And I look forward to being with you soon.